Hello, and welcome to the Hannahcast, everybody. My name is Christian Hannah, and today we got a bunch of topics that we're going to cover. For one, we're going to be talking about how Japanese Disney Plus has added movies like the Sam Raimi and Mark Webb Spider-Man films, Spider-Man Homecoming, Far From Home, Into the Spider-Verse, Venom, The Incredible Hulk, and a bunch of others. Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared series is scheduled for a September 2022 UK release date. That must mean the United States must be next at some point. Warner Brothers finally takes action against Ezra Miller. Lightyear surprisingly takes second spot in the weekend box office this week to Jurassic World Dominion's second weekend box office. And we're going to talk a little bit about Dall-E Mini AI image generator. Before we continue, be sure to like this video so that more people, so that YouTube recommends this video to more people. Hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification to be notified of future podcasts and or videos. If you want to support me financially, go to ko-fi.com/ChristianHannah, or even just directly go to ChristianHannah.com and leave me a tip. If you want to follow me on Twitter, follow me at the Hannahcast. I also have a Teespring store, christiansreviews.creator-spring.com, which I do plan to change at some point, but I guess Teespring is under some sort of a transition to become just Spring. It's chaotic, but yeah. Also, I just realized a couple days ago, if not yesterday, we have hit 800 subscribers. That is awesome, people. Thank you so much for subscribing. It really does mean a lot. And we're just 200 away from 1,000 subscribers. And I, hopefully, I can maybe start making some money on YouTube. And which would be great. So, yeah. Let's talk about the first topic, which is Disney Plus. Now, man, every new development for Disney Plus just gets more and more fascinating as it continues, because if you recall a couple of podcast episodes ago, I reported how the UK recently got Spider-Man, Spider-Man 2, The Amazing Spider-Man, and Spider-Man Homecoming. Well, looks like, what was it? Like, Japan has gotten even more than that. Let's open this up. Let's open Disney Plus up. Now, granted, I have a VPN up. It's connected to a Japan server. And so, yeah, we're on Disney Plus Japan right now. And look at some of the films that are on Disney Plus right now. Spider-Man Homecoming, Spider-Man Far From Home, Spider-Man, Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man 3, Venom, The Amazing Spider-Man, The Amazing Spider-Man 2, The Incredible Hulk, and Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Now, also, you have Elektra, which doesn't really shock me, because I think that was a 20th Century Fox film. But, really think about it. Like, okay, there's so much to unpack here. For one, aside from... Also, wait, if I'm not mistaken, yeah. Aside from Venom Let There Be Carnage and Spider-Man No Way Home, which literally just came out last year, Japan pretty much has every other Spider-Man movie out there, which is insane. But here's what really shocks me. Japan now has The Incredible Hulk. And the reason why I find that so surprising is because, I already knew that, Disney Plus made a deal with Sony, which granted at the time, they did this last year, the whole making a deal with Sony to play put some of their movies on Disney Plus. but if I'm not mistaken, that was for just the U.S. It seems like a lot of other countries are getting these Sony Marvel movies. But also, what really shocks me is that they got the Incredible Hulk. Because here's the thing about the Incredible Hulk: it wasn't distributed by Sony; it was distributed by Universal. Now you're probably wondering, well, what does that mean? Well, here, the Incredible, the Hulk character is in a weird spot in the MCU, because theoretically, Marvel can make a Hulk movie whenever they want, but if they make a Hulk movie, Universal gets to distribute it. Meaning, Universal gets to decide, where it goes in theaters, if it goes in theaters, and also they get, a certain cut of the money when it comes. They get a certain cut of the money when they distribute it. That's why, other than the Incredible Hulk, which the Incredible Hulk is canon to the MCU. I mean, granted, it's different actor, Edward Norton, whereas in the MCU now he's played by Mark Ruffalo. This is still the same Hulk. There was just a falling out between Edward Norton and Marvel, and so they just recast the Hulk to be Mark Ruffalo. But what's really interesting, actually, I'm just gonna leave it here for now. What is really fascinating is that, that's why, for the most part, you've only seen, after this movie, The Incredible Hulk, the only other times you see Hulk is when he plays a supporting character in other characters' movies. That's because Marvel, again, they could technically make a Hulk movie, but they don't want to give the distribution rights to, they don't want to give the distribution rights to Universal. Now someone will be asking, well, why do they do it with Spider-Man? Well, Spider-Man, for one, is before Marvel had, there was no way Marvel could put Spider-Man in their movies, because Spider-Man, the film rights to Spider-Man were, still currently belong to Sony. And so Sony gets to make whatever Spider-Man movies they want, or Spider-Man... they get to make the movies. But of course, Sony Marvel made a deal where they made a couple deals where Spider-Man could appear in MCU movies and whatnot, but yeah. And plus, I think also the reason why Marvel made a deal with Sony and not Universal is because, well, Spider-Man is just a bigger box office draw than the Hulk is. Because, both Hulk movies didn't do that great at the box office. That's Ang Lee's Hulk and The Incredible Hulk with Edward Norton. Both those movies didn't really do so well. Whereas with Spider-Man, even to this day, I don't think there's been a Spider-Man movie that flopped. Every Spider-Man movie, to some degree or another, made money. I mean, fuck, even the Venom movies did really well at the box office. So... But this raises an interesting question. Again, in Japan, you have pretty much almost every Spider-Man movie save for Venom 2 and Spider-Man No Way Home. But the fact that even The Incredible Hulk is on Japanese Disney Plus, all of this screams to me that Marvel is it's going to come to a time where Marvel is going to want to bring their Marvel movies onto Disney Plus in the US. And I'm guessing it doesn't matter which ones they are. I mean, granted, they probably could seek out the shitty Ang Lee Hulk, but I don't really think there's any use in that because, well, for one, people hated that movie, and two, it's not connected to the MCU, whereas with The Incredible Hulk, I guess it sort of makes sense because it is technically canon to the MCU. But again, this is fascinating because, again, as I reported in the UK, every Spider-Man, because in the UK, it was just Spider-Man, Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man Homecoming, The Amazing Spider-Man, and The Amazing Spider-Man 2. But now, if you use a VPN and go to Japan, a Japan server, you also get Far From Home, Spider-Man 3, Venom, The Incredible Hulk, and Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Which again is so weird. It's so weird seeing all these movies that don't belong to Marvel on this service. But you know what? I think it's great. And like I said, it's only a matter of time until the United States, like this comes to the United States Disney Plus. It's only a matter of time. But again, I was not really anticipating the Incredible Hulk, them doing this with the Incredible Hulk, because I thought they wouldn't really care that much to put it on Disney Plus. But hey, look where we are now. Just to see, I want to see like. Wait, made in Japan and made in Korea. That's interesting. Because again, I'm on a Japanese server. So, I'm wondering why Korea is on there. But I was like, let's go to the fucking Spider-Man collection. Yeah, this, like I said, this is just about every Spider-Man movie except for No Way Home and Venom Let There Be Carnage. Now, granted, I don't know what streaming services they would be on in Japan. But the fact that this many Spider-Man movies are on Disney Plus in Japan is astounding. This is really cool. So yeah, if you have a VPN, just go ahead and switch it to Japan and you can watch all these Spider-Man movies and The Incredible Hulk. Which, man, it's so cool. It's so bizarre and so cool in so many different ways. But yeah. So yeah, guys, what do you think of this? What do you think of all these Marvel movies coming to Japanese Disney Plus? And where do you expect? And yeah, where do you expect Marvel to go? Like Disney Plus to go in the where do you expect? Do you expect all these movies to come to American Disney Plus pretty soon? Man, this is just so surreal. Like Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is on Japanese Disney Plus. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on that. Okay, guys, and also I just realized now I have a topic to put on the now I have a topic to put on the thumbnail and the title. So yeah, guys. Our next topic is one that I'm one that I'm looking forward to. Yeah. Now, if you guys are any kind of internet savvy, you probably know of Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. And if you don't know what Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared is, it's this weird series of... It's this weird series of really, it's this weird series of, puppet things. I don't know. I'm hoping I don't get copyright claimed for this. I mean, then again, the little thing, maybe, the little filter should be above it. I don't know. But it's it's just kind of weird. It has some really, fun little songs and stuff. But then eventually they would just get really, they would just get really, really weird eventually and start turning into horror or some shit. And it just turns into this. And again, oh my god, this is 11 years old. It's nearly 11 years old. I remember, when this came out, it was the biggest thing. It was what the fuck is this thing? And again, it was just really creative and really cool. Then they also did Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. Pooh. Pooh. They did Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared 2, which came out 8 years ago. They've made 6 Don't Hug Me, I'm Scareds. And I will say, I don't think, obviously, I don't know how to describe it. It's I really, really liked Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared 2 and Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared 3. They have, really fun, little, they're really, really catchy. And if I'm not mistaken, I think even the creators of Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared even, did this, I don't know if they directed it, but they did this, but what was it? I think they may have directed an episode of The Amazing World of Gumball. Amazing World of Gumball. Yeah, it was an episode of The Amazing World of Gumball called The Puppets. And if I'm not mistaken, where is it? It was written. It was written. I think, yeah. It was written by. Oh my god! It was written by the people who. A couple of the writers were the people behind Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. Let me look up exactly where it is. Let me, Okay, yeah, The Puppets. Come on. Let me look on IMDb. So I need to look up the crew for this. Because I know Becky Sloan, she would, she or they, I'm not exactly sure, were part of this. It doesn't even say... Yeah, it doesn't even say where... It doesn't even say who directed this episode. But basically, yeah, the Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared people were involved in an episode of The Amazing World of Gumball. But basically, basically, Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared is a really big thing. They constantly get tons of views, and there has been a TV series of Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared in development for years. I'm telling you, years. And I keep forgetting that they're still trying to do it, but it's regardless. TheGamer.com says the long-awaited Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared TV series will debut September 2022 on Channel 4 in the UK. Without a doubt, Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared is one of the most influential YouTube series out there, with each video garnering millions of views and inspiring plenty of other videos that start off sweet and end up, well, much less sweet. Following the massive success of the kickstarted YouTube series, it was announced that a TV series was in the works, with some footage shown off alongside the announcement. The announcement was back in 2018, and beyond some footage being shown at the Indie Sundance Festival in 2019, news has been pretty slim on the ground since then, aside from constant confirmations that it was still being worked on. Now, thanks to a new teaser released on YouTube, we know that the series will debut later this year in September and will be on Channel 4, something that was previously confirmed in 2020. The teaser video, titled Fly, shows a derelict area with abandoned housewares items scattered around and destroyed. The camera pans to a TV that is flickering between various shots of yellow guy, duck, and red guy. While the camera zooms in on the TV, flies can be heard in the background, almost as if something is dead or decaying near the wreckage. We then see the three main characters sat in the kitchen table, as they were shown in the first shot of the YouTube series. As they sit at the table, one of the flies that could be heard earlier somehow makes its way into their kitchen and buzzes around them for a bit before Duck smacks it around with a clapboard and says, "Pesky bee!" It then ends with a shot of Yellow Guy's dad and announces the release date of September 2022. Although not too much is known about the show so far, the first episode that debuted in Sundance back in 2019 revealed that it'll take place in the town of Clay Hill and features the same kind of structure as the YouTube series, with characters learning twisted lessons in the worst possible way. Now again, like, Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared is just classic YouTube. This was it really is such a really cool thing that came, and the fact that it's getting a TV series is really cool. I know Conan O'Brien was like, his Team Coco production company was behind it at one point. I don't know if they still are. They probably aren't. But it was a long time. It was like they've been saying that this was happening for years, and at least in the UK, it seems to be coming. But again, if it's airing in the UK, that means its US release date can't be too far off, which then begs the question: who's going to air Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared? Is it going to be a network? Is it going to be a streaming service? If so, what? Wouldn't it be really weird if Disney Plus picked up Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared? Although, it does sound like something they might do, but then again, would it be considered too surreal for Disney Plus? I don't know. HBO Max could pick it up. Netflix could definitely pick it up. But yeah, what do you think of Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared coming to, like, the TV series for Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared finally airing, at least in the UK, in September 2020, in September of this year? And when do you think it might air in the US? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Alright, guys. Now, it's going to sound like beating a dead horse, but let's talk about Ezra Miller again. Now, granted, we're not talking about anything they may have done. Now, granted, because I've already done that a dozen times, and once again, I must emphasize, let me go back to my comment that I left on my Ezra Miller as a groomer video. I'm just gonna read it. Just so everyone knows, Ezra Miller is non-binary, and their pronouns as of this video are they, them, it, and zir. Ezra Miller is a monster of a human being, and I want Warner Brothers to recast them in the Flash movie, but we must still respect their gender identity and pronouns. By misgendering Ezra Miller, especially if it's intentional, you are no longer criticizing their behavior, you are using their behavior as an excuse to be transphobic, which I will not tolerate on my channel, and said misgendering comics will be effectively removed and may even result in a ban from the channel. That being said, fuck Ezra Miller. Alright? Now that we got that out of the way, it seems like Warner Brothers is finally doing something about this monster. Warner Brothers is finally doing something about Ezra Miller. Let's read it. Let's read off of what Deadline said. Deadline has heard the studio, Warner Brothers, has tried getting help for Miller, but the troubling headlines continue to pile up. Could you send a potential liability on a global publicity tour and have the actor anchor a huge studio franchise play? Zaslav, David Zaslav, the head of Warner Brothers Discovery, the CEO, Zaslav has several choices, and he will make one of them soon. Among them, he can pull back on heavily promoting the summer 2023 film, confining it to some P&A and no publicity tour, or he can regulate it to streaming with HBO Max and take a write down, or lean in toward making the movie a hit and then drop Ezra Miller if they can't straighten things out. Warner Brothers did that when they dropped Johnny Depp from the Grindelwald character in the Fantastic Beasts franchise after the actor's well-publicized unsuccessful UK lawsuit. The studio replaced Depp with Mads Mikkelsen. There's no winning in this for Warner Brothers, one studio source tells Deadline. This is an inherited problem for Zaslav. The hope is that the scandal will remain at a low level before the movie's released and hope for the best to turn out. Well, I can tell you this, it's definitely not a low level now. It's kind of like, I wouldn't say potentially grooming minors and being weird towards them is considered low level. Sources, anyways, back to reading this. Sources said even if no more allegations surface, the studio won't likely keep Miller in the Flash role for future DC films. That would mean, looks like Deadline misgendered them. That would mean replacing them in the future, but there is still a $200 million investment on the line with the first film, and Warner Brothers execs have to be cringing at each new press report. There have been 2 more rounds of Yeah. So right now it's just repeating the same thing that. Yeah, we've seen all this. So it seems like Warner Brothers is officially done with Ezra Miller. Warner Brothers it seems like Warner Brothers is not going to bring them back for any future Flash films or any DC projects, which is good, but I still think this Flash movie is fucked. Even if they don't, it looks like they're not going to recast the Flash. So it's like, I'd say at this point probably just dump it on HBO Max. Like, because like, who's going to want to see this movie? Like, who's going to want to see the movie with Ezra Miller as the lead now, with all this stuff happening? And again, I'm telling you this, it's going to get worse. I keep saying I keep saying, you know, Ezra Miller, every time Ezra Miller's in the news, they've done something even worse than before. So I don't really I think their best bet is to just dump it on HBO Max and call it a loss, because there's just no salvaging this. There's no salvaging it. So yeah, I think again this situation is really shitty. I really feel like Warner Brothers acted too late on this. Like, Warner Brothers should have recast Miller the moment that video came out of them choking that girl out on on camera. Like especially since I don't think the Flash was either the Flash wasn't filming at that point yet, or it wasn't too late. Because yeah, again, comparing this to the whole Johnny Depp thing. Like, Johnny Depp lost a court case, but there was, like, literal video footage of Ezra Miller assaulting someone. And so now again, I see some people trying to make this, like, trying to make this a thing of, like, oh, Ezra gets protection because they're non-binary, and it's like they're in the LGBTQ plus community, so they get immunity. It's like, no, Kevin Spacey got, Kevin Spacey, like, everyone was quick to fucking drop Kevin Spacey, and he's gay. But, like, people want to make this want to make this some stupid political issue. No, Ezra, like, I don't know why Warner Brothers didn't drop off Ezra Miller. Maybe it's because Ezra Miller's not as big of a name as Johnny Depp. I don't know. But no, Ezra Miller's a monster, and it seems like even Warner Brothers is done with them. So, yeah. What do you think of this? Do you Do you think it's too late that Warner Brothers said something? Do you think it's just about the right time, or like, or are you even interested in seeing this Flash movie at all? I'm not gonna lie, I have no interest in watching this movie. I mean, I probably will once it comes to HBO Max, but I'm definitely not going to pay money to see it. That's for sure. Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. Alright guys, now let's get to the next topic, which is one that, again, I'm kind of surprised is, you know, I'm kind of surprised is what it is, but, as we know, Pixar's new film Lightyear came out. I still have not seen it yet. I'm not going to watch it in theaters. I'm going to watch it once it comes to Disney Plus. Not for the same reason, not for any reasons against Lightyear itself. I'm actually really excited for this movie, but I fucking hate watching kids movies in the theater. I don't, because kids are noisy and parents are assholes for not shutting their kids up. So, again, it's nothing Lightyear did. I just don't trust movie theaters. Hell, I remember this one time when we were watching The Batman, and a couple of these kids were screaming in the front row, and I'm just like, wait, I'm just thinking, why would you bring children to The Batman? It is a very violent, like it's not even like typical, superhero violence. No, this film is really gritty and like it's a really brutal film. Why would you bring your kids to see this? But regardless, I'm not watching Lightyear in the theater. I would like to, but theaters apparently don't really care about movie theater etiquette, especially for kids' movies. That being said, Lightyear has not gotten the response everyone had hoped for, really. Because while it's gotten good reviews, the reviews for Lightyear are good. Currently, it sits at a 77% on Rotten Tomatoes with 232 reviews. But compare that to let's look at the other Toy Story movies. Toy Story and Toy Story 2 both sit at 100%. Toy Story 3 sits at 98%, and Toy Story 4 sits at 97%. And so, that's kind of shocking, really. So yeah, and you go down to where Lightyear is. Lightyear has the same rating as The Good Dinosaur and is right below Brave. So it's this is on the lower end of the Pixar scale, which is really shocking. So yeah. But regardless, and what's even crazier is that it's underperforming at the box office. Let's go to Variety. Variety says, to infinity and beyond? Not likely. Lightyear, a spin-off story set in Pixar's Toy Story universe, fell short of that boundless milestone in its box office debut, collecting a lackluster $51 million from 4,255 North American theaters. Family audiences, the movie's prime demographic, haven't returned to theaters in full force since the start of the COVID-19 pandemic. Even so, those ticket sales are more disappointing for a brand as recognizable as Pixar, the home of The Incredibles, Finding Nemo, and Up. It's particularly problematic given that Lightyear cost $200 million to produce and tens of millions of more to market. Heading into the weekend, the Disney film was expected to generate at least $70 million, but its ambitions were thwarted by heightened competition from Universal's behemoth Jurassic World Dominion and Paramount's high-flying Top Gun Maverick, as well as little intrigue to watch a slightly esoteric origin story about Buzz Lightyear, one that only had a tenuous connection to the four films in the popular kid-friendly franchise. With its wobbly liftoff, Lightyear landed in second place, becoming one of the rare Pixar films to not take the top spot at the domestic box office. Internationally, Lightyear earned $34.6 million from 43 markets, taking its total global to 85.6 million. The movie was banned in smaller foreign markets, including Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates, because it depicts a same-sex kiss. We'll get onto that later. Notably, Lightyear is the first Pixar movie to play on the big screen in more than 2 years, since Onward in March 2020. During the pandemic, 3 of the animation studio's titles, Soul, Luca, and Turning Red, skipped theaters and landed directly on Disney+, leaving some box office analysts to question if consumers have been trained to watch Pixar movies at home. Other industry experts question if Disney is relying too heavily on brand recognition and not enough on execution. It's not that people disliked the movie, which landed an A- cinema score and 77 on Rotten Tomatoes, but Disney certainly hoped that more ticket buyers would be compelled to see Lightyear in theaters over the weekend. This is a soft opening for a spin-off of one of the most successful animation series of all time, says David A. Gross, who runs the movie consulting firm Franchise Entertainment Research. He notes Toy Story defied gravity at the box office during its 27-year run. Each episode topping the last. The last 2 clearing $1 billion worldwide, but like all spin-offs, the Lightyear story is narrower now. Even with a colossal 60% decline, Jurassic World Dominion managed to capture the box office crown again in a surprise upset. Universal's prehistoric sequel generated $58.6 million from 4,697 cinemas in its second weekend of release, bringing its domestic total to $259 million. In third place, Top Gun Maverick keeps flying high with a mammoth $44 million from 4,035 venues in North America, marking a scant 15% drop from last weekend. Those box office returns are especially significant because the film has been playing in theaters for a month. Only one other film that debuted in wide release has garnered more in its 4th box office weekend. Avatar with $50 million. To date, the sequel to 1986's Top Gun has grossed $466 million in the US and Canada and $885 million globally, making the film the biggest blockbuster in Tom Cruise's decades-long career. Let's skip down a bit. Actually, no. This is also interesting. Let's just put this in here as well. Disney's Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness took the number 4 slot with $4.2 million from 2,455 locations after 7 weekends on the big screen. The comic book movie sequel has amassed an impressive $405.1 million in North America. However, the Strange sequel is no longer the highest grossing movie of the year in the US. That title now belongs to Pete Maverick Mitchell, Top Gun Maverick. And it's like, basically what this is saying is that people weren't really so enthusiastic to go watch Lightyear. Now, one of the things I've been seeing people complaining about, or not really complaining about, but people saying, claiming this is why it flopped. Some small group of people are saying that it flopped because they tried to make this movie woke by having a same-sex kiss, therefore alienating certain countries. That's not the case. That's not the case at all. I mean, because that's trying to force a problem. That's trying to force a dumb argument as to why gay people shouldn't be in a movie, which is stupid. Because let's look at Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness so far has made $940 million worldwide. And, America Chavez, she's gay. At least I think she is. She definitely has a couple of moms in the movie. And that movie did tremendously well. So it's not about any quote-unquote wokeness, which I fucking hate that word woke, by the way. in the way conservatives use it. They just want to use the word woke as a protective shield to say that, you know, they don't want to, they know they can't say that they hate gay people or they hate black people or they hate women. So they just use the word woke as a shield but it's just fucking stupid. Like, no, you're fucking bigoted. Fuck off with that nonsense. The same-sex kiss was not the reason why this movie didn't do so well. I really think there are a couple of reasons for this. Well, the main reason I think animation in cinemas isn't doing so well these days. Now people are going, you know, well, what about Sing and the Bad Guys? Well, Sing made $400 million worldwide, which I don't know if that's going to be enough for Lightyear, considering Lightyear cost $200 million to make. And also the Bad Guys didn't make anywhere near as much. Like, how much did the Bad Guys make? Let's see, the Bad Guys. The Bad Guys made $236 million on a budget between $69 to $80 million. So, no, like, I don't think those two are good. I don't think Sing 2 and the Bad Guys are good comparisons, but considering they're not as expensive as these Pixar movies are. But it's like, I genuinely think, especially when you look at Pixar, I think, you know, Variety had a point where it's like, people, like, because of Disney's stupid decisions to bring, you know, Soul, Luca, and Turning Red straight to Disney Plus, like that killed it. Like that killed. I think people are now just expecting, you know, these Pixar films to be on Disney Plus. And I genuinely think, like, theatrical animation is kind of doomed at this. I think it's not looking good for theatrical animation. Because let's take a look at, you know, the animated movies coming out this year. Let's take a look. Apollo 10.5, A Space Age Childhood. Well, that, I think, went to Netflix. The Bad Guys, it did okay for what it was. The Bob's Burgers movie, how much? I don't think the Bob's Burgers movie did that great. The Bob's Burgers movie, because it doesn't really say what the budget was. Well, like Bob's Burgers movie made $31.8 million. What else is coming out this year? DC League of Super Pets, that hasn't come out yet. I don't expect DC League of Super Pets to make a lot of money. Lightyear, again, it's not doing so well. Minions: The Rise of Gru, that's one that we'll have to see. How well does that do? Pinocchio, that's a Netflix movie, and they're not really, like, they'll probably just do like a small theatrical release just to qualify for the Oscars. But Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, there's a possibility that could, like, but then again, how, like, are people really enthusiastic to see Puss in Boots: The Last Wish? It comes out December 21st, 2022. But again, so, like, I don't know, like, how much did the first Puss in Boots make again? The first Puss in Boots made $555 million. So yeah, like, it made $555 million, but at the same time, this is a really late sequel. So we'll have to see how that works. Strange World, we'll have to see how that turns out. And Turning Red went to Disney Plus. So, like, I genuinely don't know how animated movies are going to fare in the future, because, like, I think even Encanto, how much did Encanto make at the box office? Encanto made $256 million worldwide on a budget of somewhere between 120 to 150 million. So again, I don't know if it's going to do, like, so yeah, I just don't know. I genuinely don't know how, like it I'm not, like, maybe I shouldn't say theatrical releases are theatrical animated movies are doomed. All I'm saying is it's not really looking good right now. It's not really looking good. But regardless, what are your thoughts on you know, what are your thoughts on Lightyear coming into second place in the box office this weekend to Jurassic World Dominion? What do you think this says about animated movies in cinemas? Let me know your thoughts. And man, God, I'm kind of shocked that Jurassic World has made the top of the box office again. Like, every time I think about Jurassic World Dominion, it gets worse and worse and worse. I'm genuinely wondering if I actually do consider it to be worse than Fallen Kingdom or not, because both of these movies were so bad. They were so bad. Like, yeah. But regardless, let's talk about the final topic on this episode of the Hannahcast. This thing called Dall-E Mini. Now, granted, it's moving to this website called crayon.com, but let me just show you. Crayon, but like the AI part of it is the AI part of it is emphasized. And basically what it does, it's an AI that generates images from a prompt you type in. For example, I put in Spider-Man pointing meme. Well, let's try to Spider-Man pointing at another Spider-Man. And it looks like, yeah, it can take up to 3 minutes. Granted, I haven't really, I posted a prompt, or at least, invited you guys to put in prompts as to what you would want to see, but I guess no one really... I guess no one really answered. So, like I said, we're just going to be waiting a little bit to see what they... because, Dall-E Mini has... some of the stuff is, really, really weird. Again... I'm not exactly sure how long it's gonna take. I mean, granted, it could take up to 3 minutes. So, But yeah, let's look at now. what is interesting is that there is this thing called, like, this thing coming called Dall-E 2. Now, I did sign up to have access, although I haven't gotten access yet. But, like, let's check this out. Like, Dall-E 2, this was apparently created by Dall-E 2, an astronaut riding a horse in a photorealistic style, in the style of Andy Warhol, or as a pencil drawing. And again, keep in mind, a human did not make this. This was done by an AI. And apparently there's multiple versions of this. Like, there's this, 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 and this. Let's check out the photorealistic style. Boom, 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 boom. That is really, really cool. Like, there's bang, bong, boom, bang, boom, bang, boom, bang, boom. And the fact that this is an AI actually, like, wait, an astronaut lounging in a tropical resort in space in a photorealistic style. Bang, bang, boom, bang. This is fantastic. Like, this is really, really good. Let's check and see if crayon. Spider-Man pointing at another Spider-Man. Okay, I guess it's not really doing that all that well, but again, you can tell it's Spider-Man. Now again, keep in mind, this is not Dall-E 2, but this is like sort of an earlier version of Dall-E, but they're moving it to crayon.com. But again, this looks really good. Let's try out. Let's see if it can recognize this. Dinotherium. But yeah, in a vaporwave style. Like, again, this looks really, really good. As pixel art, oh my god. Oh, okay, what I will say is, this is probably going to, like, this is, people are going to use this for porn. I'm willing to bet. Like, people are going to use this for fucking porn. Because now that you can, like, with this, you can now make anything. Teddy bears mixing sparkling chemicals as mad scientists as a 1990s Saturday morning cartoon. I don't know if this is a Saturday morning cartoon. I mean, it looks like a storybook. But again, like, you could literally make a book out of this stuff and you could just sell it. You could just sell it. It's insane. Hell, there's literally a story being told here. Shopping for groceries in the style of Yukio-e. That's interesting. But again, this looks really, really good. Like, this looks like a human straight up made this. As a one-line drawing. Okay, this is a little bit simpler. But man, in ancient Egypt, oh my god. This is insane. That, again, keep in mind, a computer made this. An AI generated this. This straight up looks like a photograph. Let's check this again. Oh my god. Okay, granted, it kind of fucked up a little bit with the Dinotherium, but it knows what it's trying. Like, that is fascinating. Now, one thing you gotta know about Dinotherium is that you know, let's look at what Dinotherium really looks like. Dinotherium. Like, this is what a Dinotherium is supposed to look like. Alright, the tusks are on its lower jaw. There it is. But even though it's not quite accurate, I can still tell that this AI is trying to create a Dinotherium. It's trying to make it. Which is fascinating. It's like, the fact that it looks like an elephant kind of creature at all, especially with broad, high, like, oh my, yeah, I just realized, like, with this, it got pretty close, because it has, like, a little hump, or whatever, and some Dinotherium, like this one, had that kind of back hump of sorts. I mean, it's not really a hump, it's more like its hips. But, like, but, yeah, you can tell that's what this thing is trying to create. Which is fascinating. Let's see what else I can do. Ooh, Dinosaur King. Wait, no. Let's try Markiplier fighting Winnie the Pooh. Alright, again, we're going to let this bake a little bit. But again, keep in mind, this was not, like, this is made by a computer, like, all of it. None of this was photographed. Teddy Bear is working on new AI research on the moon in the 1980s. Again, this is fantastic. It straight up looks like just little models. Now again, I must emphasize, Dall-E 2 has not been released to the public yet. It hasn't been released to the public yet. I'm still trying to get myself like a little beta. Wait, Dall-E 2 can make realistic edits to existing images from a natural language caption. It can add and remove elements while taking shadows, reflections, and textures into account. Submitting these flamingo. Select location to add a flamingo. Alright. Wait. Oh, and there's many different kinds of... And there... My God. A couple of flamingos in the distance. That is crazy. Select location to add a corgi. There's the corgi right there. What about right here? Oh my... That is weird. I mean, yeah, if you look at the paws, you can tell a little bit. It's not quite right, but like, it's damn close. And like, you can do, like, oh my, and I just realized this is probably gonna make NFT culture so much worse. And like, this is gonna be select location, add a sofa. There's one right there, and then there's another one right here. But again, it looks flawless. It looks. That is insanity. Let's look at Crayon. Markiplier fighting Winnie the Pooh. Okay, this is the only one where I really see Markiplier. I don't know what that is. Let's try this again. I wonder if we're going to get different results. But yeah, let's see. Dall-E 2 can create original, realistic images and art from a text description. It can combine concepts, attributes, and styles. Dall-E 2 can take an image and create different variations of it inspired by the original. Dall-E 2 variations of whatever this original image is. And like I said, like, you don't even really need to, like, at this point, you'd, like, oh my god. It looks so realistic. Like, yeah, you can see a little bit of artifacts here and there. But, like, the fact that it looks this good. Oh my god. This just looks this looks almost flawless. Again, sometimes the eyes look a little bit weird. But again, that's just me looking for problems at that point. Imagine what AI is going to do, like, 5 years from now. Or 10 years from now. People are saying, you know, this could lead to, like, videos becoming AI generated. Which, that's not far off. My god. And I will say, on one hand, I am kind of excited for this, because now with this, I can, like, how do I describe it? Like, one of the things that kind of hinders me when it comes to filmmaking is that I'm not really good at original ideas. But with this, it's like, I can just type whatever kind of weird idea I have and sort of go off of whatever the AI generates. And I could just create ideas out of that. And this is really, really good. Let's take a look at this. Again, Markiplier fighting Winnie the Pooh. Does it give us any different images? I mean, considering it's an AI just generating these things, I'm pretty sure it should. It really should give us a different result. Yep, these are different images. And again, weirdly, the only one where I really see Markiplier is over here. I can sort of tell that's Markiplier. Let's try the Grinch fighting, like, the Grinch fighting Winnie the Pooh. But yeah. And like I said, people are gonna make porn out of this. People are gonna make so much porn out of this. Cause, like, people will already, like, spend, like, hundreds of dollars commissioning someone for porn art. But now with this, it's like, you could just type it in and have your fantasies realized. That's what I fear the most, really. Oh, God. But again, this art is so good. Again, some of this is just like, a bowl of soup that is a portal to another dimension that looks like a monster. Oh, wait, no. A bowl of soup that is a portal to another dimension drawn on a cave wall. Now, granted, I don't know how you can translate that onto a cave wall kind of thing. That looks like a monster. Oh. Knitted out of wool. That is so weird. And again, I have to emphasize this. This was not created by a person. This was created by a computer. This is literally a computer-generated image. That is crazy. Crayon. Alright. This will probably be the last one I do before I probably end the podcast. But yeah, the Grinch fighting Winnie the Pooh. This thing is crazy. This is insane how this could change things. And imagine, like, I would definitely, like, oh god. what really got me was the whole Dinotherium thing. Again, ultimately it didn't look exactly like a Dinotherium. But the fact that I was able to tell that it was trying to create Dinotherium by, for one, making it look like some kind of elephant, and also having that little hump or whatever that thing is on the back. Like, I could tell that that's Dinotherium, so that's really impressive. Oh yeah, the Grinch fighting Winnie the Pooh. Okay, this is looking more like what I was looking for with the Markiplier ones. Again, like, look at this. This looks like, again, it's not perfect, but I can tell that's Winnie the Pooh and the Grinch. I can tell it's them. That's really interesting. That's really fascinating. It really, really is. So yeah, guys, what do you think of Dall-E Mini, or in this case, Crayon.com? And are you excited for Dall-E 2? I don't know when Dall-E 2 is going to be released to the public. Because once this comes out, I can come up with so many really interesting concepts and have them visualized. And just sort of create weird stories out of them. Especially horror. I really want to try and make some horror stories, but I'm just not very imaginative. But yeah. And I think that might do it for this episode of the Hannahcast. Thank you very much for watching this episode. I know it's a little bit shorter than usual, but hey, I got it up to an hour, so yay me. Regardless. Yeah. Yeah, AI is weird. But, so yeah. Once again, if you like this video, I'm going to take this to the beginning right here. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Hopefully that should be popping up here sooner or later. Yeah, hit that subscribe button, click that like button so you can tell people so you can tell YouTube that you want more people to see this, and hit that bell icon so that more people can be notified of future videos. If you want to support me financially, go to ko-fi.com/ChristianHannah, or go to my link tree, which you can be redirected to that by using by going to ChristianHannah.com. Right, like that URL will lead you directly to my link tree. You can also support me financially and get yourself some stuff by going to my Teespring store, christiansreviews.creator-spring.com. Follow me at the Hannahcast on Twitter, and so yeah, I think that'll do it for this episode of the Hannahcast, everybody. Bye. Oopsies.